first thing I'm gonna start out with is primer, and I've already moisturized my face, so there's not really much to primer, just putting it on and making sure that you get one that suits your skin type. Next, I'm gonna go in with the CoverGirl Healthy, I can't read backwards, sorry. Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. I'm in the shade 710. Obviously, I use this all the time. And I'm gonna scrape it out and just put it all over my face. So there's two ways I recommend blending out your foundation. Either use a flat top brush like this. It's dense, it's densely packed, and it's flat. Or you can use a sponge. This is the Real Technique sponge. I've never used Beauty Blender sponge because I'm not gonna pay $20 for a sponge. This is $4.99 and it works great. All you do is just blend it out, making sure that if you do go darker with your foundation like I do, to go down the neck and onto the ears. And the reason why I like this foundation is because it looks so luminous on my skin. It really doesn't emphasize any dry patches. I don't have that much of a problem with having it settle in my lines. And I would say it's a medium to full coverage. You definitely can build it up. I have a bump right there and you can still see it, but for every day, I'm not really looking to look like a full-on drag queen, if you know what I mean. So for highlighter, a lot of people like to go just one shade lighter with their concealer. I said highlighter, didn't I? I meant concealer. I like to go really light with my concealer because I have really dark under eyes, and so it cancels out the darkness for me. I do a couple dots under the eye, and I do one dot on my forehead, one dot on the tip of my nose, and a dot on my chin. The reason why I do this is these are the high points of your faces, so we want to highlight those, and it's gonna bring them forward. It's gonna have a forward effect. And I'm using the Born This Way, Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer to do that. So now I'm just gonna blend this out with a sponge, or you can use your foundation brush if you're using a brush. I had my cousin tell me the other day that she uses her fingers to blend out her foundation, and honestly, whatever works for you. If you're happy using your hands, then use your hands. I have multiple times used my fingers to blend out concealer, and it actually can be helpful to use your fingers to blend out cream products because the warmth of your fingertips helps smooth everything out and helps melt the product into your skin more. I just like to blend it out with a sponge or a brush, but whatever you prefer, whatever works for you. I definitely do recommend trying a sponge though, if you haven't. You can totally skip the step of putting the concealer on your forehead, nose, and chin. Sometimes I just put it under my eyes if I'm wanting a more natural look or I'm in a rush. But I just wanted to show you guys an in-depth tutorial of how I would regularly do my makeup. So as you can see, I'm just blending out towards the temples to get that highlighted and lifted effect. Here comes where I set my face, and I've had questions about this. What does setting your face mean? How do you set your face? What do you need to use? The reason why you do that is to make your makeup last longer. If you have oily skin, it will keep your oils at bay throughout the day. If you have dry skin like me, go light on the powder, but I usually set my face just so it'll last. So by setting your face, you're locking the cream products in, with a powder and you're making your makeup last longer. I like to use a translucent setting powder, meaning that you're not going to be able to tell that there's powder under there. There's no color to it. I like to use a loose translucent setting powder like this Hourglass Veil powder, or I will go in with a translucent compact. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. It's $2, I think, maybe $3, I'm not sure, but it's really cheap at CVS or Walmart. It comes in a compact pressed powder form, and it is shade 001 transparent. Also, you can use a compact that is your skin tone if you like to. Whatever kind of powder you use it to set your face. The reason why I go with a translucent powder under the eyes is because I want to keep the highlighted effect underneath my eyes so that it doesn't look dark. So I'm tapping the sponge into my powder, and since my under eyes are kind of dry, I will tap the excess off onto my palm, or that's not my palm, but the back of my hand, and then go in under the eyes. And I'm just lightly setting. I don't have a lot of powder going under my eyes, but it's just enough to keep the concealer from moving throughout the day. So I'm just getting a little bit more, tapping it off and setting underneath. And you can see the difference in coverage. A lot of times translucent powders also add a ton of coverage to under eyes. So not only does this eye look brighter, it also has more coverage than this eye. That was the loose translucent setting powder. I'm gonna show you the pressed one too. So I got this at CVS. Can't get that off. You can also like drag your sponge on here, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna use a brush, and this brush is just a small little brush. It's more flexible. Oh, look at that powder. It's more flexible than the foundation brush that we use, and it's smaller. It fits right under the eye. This is the Jaclyn Hill JH07, and what I'm gonna do is just swirl this in here and set. I'm just gonna dust away any excess that I had from the loose setting powder with the same brush. And also I like to take this powder and put it where I had the concealer on my forehead, my nose, and my chin. Now, if that is all the setting that you want to do, that is fine. If you don't want to set your face at all, that is fine. Some people can set their face and their makeup lasts all day. For me, that's not the case. So I like to go in with another powder like this Bare Minerals Pro powder, Bare Pro. I'm in the shade Aspen 04. And I like to take a big fluffy brush, swirl it around, and just lightly tap on the other areas of my face that I haven't set yet. So around the temples, the forehead, the cheeks, and down the neck. So now our face is set, and we're gonna move on to bronzer. Bronzer is meant for the perimeters of your face. You don't want to put it in the center of your face. Remember, we're trying to bring that forward with the highlighted look. I'm gonna use the Morphe bronzer. This is the face and body bronzer in the shade Icon. I talked about this on my story on IG the other day.
I'm just gonna lightly swirl that over the perimeters of my face. And I like to use swirling motions or tapping motions when applying bronzer. So I will swirl around my big forehead. And for the cheeks, go to where, let's see, start at where your earlobe is. And with my brush pointed upward, I'm just going to swirl back and forth. So it creates I don't want to say a line because you don't want to have lines on your face, but you get a diffused bronzing effect. Like an in-between contour and bronzer color. So it would look good on so many skin tones. And I don't contour anyways, but I definitely don't feel the need to now because it sort of does both for me. And I'm just putting it on my nose, on the sides, to contour the nose. Not really contouring, but. And on my jawline. And down the neck. Okay.
Whew, it's getting hot in here. I'm gonna go in with blush. This is the NARS Orgasm Blush. It's so pretty. It's like a peach color. Look, you can see me in the mirror. It's like a peach color with gold reflect. I love this blush. It's been one of my favorite for forever. I either like to use an angled brush that it's not really dense. There's some movement to it, but it fits perfectly on your cheeks. Or this is actually a foundation brush, but I use it for blush. This is the Morphe M406. It's a duo fiber brush, which means it has two types of fibers in it, as you can tell. It's supposed to be white, but I've used it. The lighter color and then the darker color right here. Let's go in with the duo fiber. I just tap in and then lightly go over my cheeks.
Again, using patting and swirling motions. So this gives a subtle effect, and I love how it has the gold shimmers in it because it already looks like I kind of have on a highlight, and I love that.
Now for the angled blush brush. This is definitely gonna pack on more color. So if you're not too big on blush, I would go with this type of brush. If you're a blush fanatic, I would go in with a more dense brush like this. Okay, so I'm gonna put on highlighter. First part of the formula is taking this Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in the shade 100 Molten Gold. Now, right now, I'm not tan at all, so that's why I have to combine two highlighters. That may be extra. I could just go out and buy a highlighter that actually matches my skin tone, but I don't want to do that because this looks good. But Morphe comes out with almost pretty much, that's an identical brush, and this is the Morphe M501. No, wait. Morphe M510. Okay, M510. So it's the same thing. I'll just use this one. So I'm gonna tap into the highlighter. And what I like to do is start down low so that when you're looking straight on at me, you can still see the highlighter. You don't have to turn your head to get a glow. See, when my face is straight on, I don't know if you can tell. But when your face is straight on, you still get that highlighted effect. Now, the reason that I say that this color is too dark for me right now is because when I look straight on, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but if I look straight on, there's kind of, it's more obvious in natural light, but there is a dark streak that is a shadow. It's like a dark shadow that's on my cheekbones. So whenever you put on a highlighter and you see like a gray cast where you put the highlighter, usually 99% of the time that means that the highlighter is too dark for your skin. And if you have a highlighter that's too light for your skin, you'll see a white cast or a really light shadow going across your cheek. So I'm gonna lighten this up by using the Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter in the shade Pearl. This is a really light highlighter, but it smells so good and it feels like putty, like you can move it around. And I'm really focusing that on the center of my cheeks right here, down towards the bottom where people are gonna see when I have my head straight on.
But oh my gosh, so pretty. And again, patting and swirling motions.
So I'm just gonna go back in with a little bit of bronzer. And I'm gonna use this Duo fiber brush to kind of blend everything together. I don't want my face looking like Neapolitan ice cream and 3 freaking stripes on my face, vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. So I'm gonna blend it all together and make a little milkshake. Oh my God, that was weird. I'm sorry, don't tell anybody I said that. Oh, the face is not done. We gotta set. Okay, there's lots of setting sprays you can get. This is the Morphe one. It's gonna make your makeup last longer. It's gonna soak all the powders into your skin. It's gonna melt them so that your face doesn't look powdery. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face with this. I usually go ham on the setting spray. Okay, that is it for the face makeup. Ignore that zit, I swear. Sometimes after I set my face, I'll go back in with the clean side of my Beauty Blender and just pat everything in to make sure everything's soaking in. Oh gosh, I forgot to put highlighter on my nose. There. Okay, that is it for the face makeup. I'm gonna do the eyes in a different video just so this video doesn't get so long. But I'll link it down in the description box. Bye everyone.